So, what I'm going to say. So today there will be just a very quiet. I haven't found a topic yet. The last kind of talks were pretty unusual. I didn't seem to be able to give a normal talk.
You mean the other days?
Yeah. That weren't very normal talks. If it's a talk on Dhamma, it's quite interesting. It's not set up in the beginning, it develops. And then it depends very much on the people, how it develops. It is like, or it's similar to a tap of water. If people are there who are interested in Dhamma and open the tap, then the Dhamma will flow out. And the more they're interested, the more flows out. And if they are just a little bit dull people, and that they have not the skill to tap the Dhamma, then there will be nothing flowing out. It depends on what the people are interested in. And that comes out. Or if you stick here around for a while, you will see it depends on the people who come here, and then the talks will change. According to the need of the people or according to the interest of people. But when I talk about interest, it's not the sudden interest. I just want to know about this or want to about that. It's more, the Dhamma taps more into the deep interest of these people. So actually, it's your responsibility for what comes out. It's not my responsibility. I just let it. I just try to do my best just to let it flow out. So if people are really interested to know something about this or that, then this will come out. It will flow out if I give myself to it. But there, of course, there are some situations where I just busy with other things, so I can't do it. It's the same thing when you listen to the talks of Thanachan Mahapo, or when you know about the talks of Thanachan Man. He has a lot to say, but sometimes he sits very quietly and doesn't say a thing. Because the people who are there, just common people or visitors who are not really interested in Dhamma, so nothing comes out. The most that comes out are keep the 5 precepts. And that's it. And sometimes you don't even, when you look at the people, you don't even see it from outside. And sometimes he gives a talk, for an hour or for 1.5 hours. Very interesting talk. Dhamma is something that resides in the heart. That means if one opens one's heart to it, then this Dhamma can flow out. And the speaker actually doesn't know what he's going to talk about in the next 5 minutes. He just follows the flow of the Dhamma, and the Dhamma comes out. So you are quiet now, and now settle down and something. Nothing is going to show. You have no more questions. All your questions are solved. So you lay people, and the differences with the ordained ones, or with the monks, or mechis, or also nuns. The monks and the nuns have set their life to one goal, to the goal of liberation. Lay people who come here just have an interest in this or an interest in that. Most of the time it's the interest to reduce one's dukkha, to find a way out of dukkha, but they're not really prepared to go all the way. To go all the way, we have to ordain as monks or nuns, or we have to live the celibate life. It doesn't mean, when I say monks or nuns, it doesn't mean that we actually have to put on the robes, but it means to live this kind of life, determined to go to the end. As lay people, we have our other things, we have family bonds and so on and so on. So we might not be willing to go all the way, or we might not even see the need to go all the way. So that is fine. Whatever you want to do, and that is the only thing that I ask you. Whatever you want to do, make it clear. Make it clear to yourself what you want. And then if you really want it, then do it. Just do it wholeheartedly. Not 50%, that will give you only 50% of the result. Do it wholeheartedly, and you will get 100%. Whatever you set your mind on, you can do it. There's no such thing as I can't do that. This thing I can't do that is just laziness. Of course we can do it. If we set our mind on it, we can do it. So forget this I can't do that. This I can't do that. Just translate I don't want to do it. Or I feel insecure about it, or whatever, whatever the feeling is about it. If we want it, we can. However difficult it is, it doesn't matter. When we go and want to study, or become an engineer, or become an artist, or become this, or become that, then we set our mind on it, and most of us will succeed. So, where's the problem? We stick with it. But of course, the spiritual life is a very, very different kind of life. And it's not something that you have, that you can gain, that you can hold in your hands and show you others. When you go to university, when you get your diploma, you can show it to everybody around you. And you even get a job for that. But that is not in spiritual life. Whatever you gain in your heart. You are the only one who knows. It's just somebody, earns money, continuously earns money, but, he doesn't show it off. There's no way to show off this internal insight. And nobody even notices from the outside what kind of degree of spirituality you have reached. It doesn't show off. Other people won't see it. So it's something that we do, it's something for completely ourselves. But don't draw the wrong conclusion. It is not a selfish thing. Also, we do it for ourselves. If we keep in mind that the aim or the goal of the Buddhist way or the Buddhist practice is to get rid of oneself, then this cannot be very selfish. It's much more selfish to become a doctor or become an engineer, or to become wealthy or to become powerful. This is much more selfish. And in the process of doing it, we hurt so many other people. Because we develop ourselves. We become independent of others. In this process, we hurt others. A lot of things happen in the West. Everybody, within the family, the wife or the husband, they want to do this, they want to develop their self. And because of that, families break up. Because the husband wants to develop himself, he wants to study this, or the wife wants to develop herself, and she does this. And so the family breaks apart, and the children, if there are any, will suffer from it. And what do they want to do? They want to self-develop them. They want to develop their self. And if you have understood enough of the Buddhist practice, there is no such thing, or there is no such eternal thing as self. So the path of practice is the practice, to get rid of oneself, to get rid of one's wishes, of one's egotistical wishes and wants. That's a path of liberation. That's a path to the deathless. This is the path to Nibbana. To get rid of one's wishes, to get rid of one's want, to get rid of one's hate. And the greed and the hate is the one that hurts other people. So the more we get rid of our greed and hate, the less we hurt other people. So don't think, just developing this quality or this skill that is completely confined within our own realm, within the 5 khandhas. Don't even think that this is egotistical or selfish. It's just the opposite. It's not selfish. The more we get free of greed and hate, the more we are there for other people, the more we can help other people in a more real sense. And at the end, when we are liberated, we are just there to help. So this is the ultimate thing. The Arahant is just there. He's just remaining within these 5 khandhas or within this world to help others. He has no other means because he has finished his work. When he has finished his work, the people normally in the West consider to be very selfish, to look at the center of one's own heart. When he has finished this kind of work, he is there to help others. Like for instance, Thanacha Mahabua, he helped. He helps whole Thailand. Thailand 10 years ago was in a mess. Not only in a political mess, but also in a financial mess. So he raised money. And now Thailand is doing very well. He raised enough money. He raised more than 11 tons of gold for the State Reserve Bank. Telling the people, just to believe in themselves. And now Thailand is doing very well. This is one thing. And the other thing, of course, before he started that, he's teaching for 50 years now. Since his liberation, it's over 50 years. And he's teaching the monks and the nuns, he's teaching the laity to go on the right path. And by doing this, he's not helping himself. He doesn't gain anything. He has to give himself completely to this task, to develop others, to see the freedom that he has seen. And when we look at his disciples, there are few that actually, with his help, went to liberation, went to Arahant. And this is the utmost help that he can give. People who really strive for freedom, who strive for this inner freedom, if they have a teacher like him, to be helped on the path that is so full of hindrances, so full of obstructions, so tedious, then if you have a teacher like that, then it's much easier to walk than to walk by yourself. All the good teachers here in Thailand always tell the disciples, hurry up, hurry up. I don't know how long I'm going to live. When we look what the Lord Buddha said about a spiritual friend, and a teacher or a venerable teacher can be called a spiritual friend. Then when the Venerable Ananda asked the Lord Buddha, do you think so, Lord, that a spiritual friend is half of the spiritual way? Then the Lord Buddha answered, do not think like this, Ananda. A spiritual friend is 100% of the spiritual way. He's there to guide you. He's there to cheer you up. He's there to show you the hindrances. He's there to protect you from the obstacles. That's what a spiritual friend is for. And that is the way that I see Thanacha Mahaprabhu, my own venerable teacher. He's my spiritual friend and he guides me. And he guides me not in the way that I desire to, but he guides me in the way that is best for me. And it took me a long time to understand. I wanted him to help me in this way, or I wanted him to help me in that way. He never did. He always refused. But he helped me in a different way. And only after a while I understood. Because this was more effective. So he chooses from his own perspective what is effective. He doesn't choose, and metta is not, or loving kindness is not to do what the people want me to do, but is doing the best for the sake of the people. If we understand that, then if we trust in the teacher, whatever he does, he will know better than I. He has gone the way already, he has gone the path already. So who am I to judge him? I cannot even take on his perspective. I don't have this bird perspective of the world. I still are down in the valleys, and see all the mountains around me, all the mountains that we call hindrances or obstacles. But he has the bird's view of this world, and he sees all the valleys, he sees the path out of this obstruction. I can't. I clutch with my eyes towards the mountains, and I can only see the mountain. I don't see the path out. But of course, because of his experience, he has gone the way for himself, with the help of others or with the help of himself, then he can see and he can teach. You come very early. So I have to start again. So sit a bit closer. So we have to reflect upon this. If we go this path, let's just remember this. People in the West, and I was confronted for a long time with this, they think it's very selfish to develop oneself. But if we remind ourselves that the goal of all this practice is to get rid of self, how selfish can this be? This is completely selfless. That's the aim. We understand that. The aim is to get rid of oneself, to get rid of the illusion of self. So, once we attain to this goal, we are selfless. We are selfless in the true sense. And in this whole world, there are so few people who are really selfless. We have an idea, normally, about how selfless people should be. But they are not. Most of them are a little bit selfless, but they have selfish notions. I am selfless. I am selfless. The person who is really selfless doesn't have this notion. He doesn't have the idea. He doesn't even know that he's helping. But whatever he does, whatever he thinks, whatever he speaks, helps. Because the only thing that guides him is Dhamma. And Dhamma has unlimited matter, has unlimited loving kindness. The loving kindness of an Arahant is so big that it evades the whole universe. People in all this universe will know. Beings in all the universe will know that this person has attained to Arahantship. Because selflessness is radiating through the whole universe. That's why when an Arahant is born, most of the time, heavenly beings from a far, far, far distance come to pay respects to this person. Because the selflessness of this person shines or radiates through the whole universe. It's so immense, it's so incredible. So keep that in mind. This is the aim. The path along, of course, it's a little bit fiddly work. It's tedious work to get rid of oneself. One so much believes in. We all believe in ourselves. And we go, even in the West, we go the wrong way. We develop ourselves. We develop something, we make something that is already a delusion to an even stronger delusion. That's what self-development is. It's extremely selfish. Because it lives on the cost of other people. A person who has got rid of himself, he lives for the other people. He has no means, because he has understood that self is an illusion. That self doesn't really exist. So he has no aim anymore. He doesn't want to become a doctor, he doesn't want to become a politician, he doesn't want to be a savior of the world. Even not this. He doesn't want to become a savior of the world. He doesn't want to be a religious leader. He doesn't want to be anything. Because he has never been anything anyway. And he will be never anything anyway. So there's nothing, he still needs to attain to. And now look at our world. Look at ourselves, what we want to attain to. There are so many goals we have in our life. So when we done and came here and did a little bit of practice, when we go home, we better think about what is important in our life. What is really important? What is that is lasting? What is that produces good feelings, or what is it that produces wholesome things? And what is it that produces unwholesome things? And when we see what produces unwholesome things, then let's get rid of it. Let's find the cause for it and let's get rid of it. In the beginning we have to start not doing it until we understand the cause of this. And once we understand the cause of this, we let go. Our heart will let go. This is how to develop us. But as lay people, of course, we are caught up or we eaten up by the world. This person wants this person wants that, then we have to earn some money, then we need to wash, then we need to feed the body, and then we need to do this and do that, and then 99.9% of our time is eaten up by the world. And we don't even have a single moment to reflect upon what is wholesome or not wholesome. Because we are caught by the games or by the rules of the game of this life. That's we're caught in. And the moment we step out, and you will all see it, how it catches in. The first day might be still quiet, the second day will be less quiet, the third day will be, and then after a week, and after 2 months, we are caught up back all. Everything is the same. It eats us up. It gnaws at our livers, and it gnaws at our thigh, and whatever. And then maybe, or hopefully, after a few years' time, a few years ago, I did something that was really nice and that was really comforting. How could I forget it? Because the world, always pulls us. Our friends pull us. Our everything in this world pulls us. We go to a shop, the things pull us. We go through the street, the sounds, the smells, and the tastes pull us. Everything pulls out. And then we got eaten up by this. So it takes a lot of confidence in oneself not to be eaten up. Just to walk through this world with mindfulness. To walk through this world with an utter amazement. Oh, what? That's it. That's how it is. That's how it is. That's how it is. And you walk like through a noisy city, but you don't hear any sounds. It's completely quiet. Not because outside it is quiet. Outside it might be quite noisy, but your heart is quiet. Your heart is completely quiet. It doesn't make the slightest sound. And that is called amazement. That is really amazing. It's not like, the world ceases to exist. No, it's still there. But our heart is not interested, doesn't take any more interest in this world. So it's completely quiet. Even, while the people, and then you see it, and it's like, you see it in a slow motion, how all these arms grip out on you and try to catch hold on you. How the things are trying to catch hold on you. You see it, but you don't react. This is when we are completely mindful, when we completely are aware, and when we completely rest within our own heart. Then the things become utterly amazing. And we see things, and it's amazing, you see things. And sometimes you even can laugh about the things that you really felt upset before. Because you see how it is working. It's like in a slow motion. But until we aren't there, we have to work a little bit to get there. We have to work to constantly to develop our mindfulness. So when you go back, take at least an hour aside. Be it half an hour in the morning and half an hour when you come back from work. And then just wash your mind off. In the morning, wash your mind clear to get mindful. And in the evening, when you come back from work, wash your mind clear of all the things that happened during the time. Just wash it off with the Buddha. Or wash it off with the Buddha and the breath and whatever. Whatever your meditation object is. And after you wash the mind off, it feels freer. It becomes freer, uncluttered. And then you can reflect about the day and think, see what was going good and see what was going wrong. And then you are determined to let the things that lead to unwholesome things, be determined not to do it again. And you have to have a lot of patience in this. It's not going from one day to another. It takes weeks, it takes months, it takes years. Just to get something, just not to fall in the same hole that we are always are finding ourselves trapped in. If we don't reflect daily, if we do not wash our mind daily, then it will happen like I said. The first day is still quiet, the second day it's a little bit noisy, and the third day, we are completely back in our world. And we forget everything. Because we are so pulled. Oh, now I have to meet this person, now I have to meet that person, now I have to do this, now I have to do that, I don't have time. So. And then we are back where we were before we came. Nothing remains anymore. But if we continue to do our practice, at least, half an hour in the morning and half an hour after dinner. And if you have time, half an hour before bedtime, then something will stay. Something will stay, At least we have, during one day, we still have a few moments of mindfulness. The life is not running, rushing away. But if we don't do it, then it will come, Just like the high waves will have so much power and force us, and they will just take us with them. There's no way to go against the high tide. But if we develop some firmness, if we develop some basis in practice, that means, our feet are deep in the ground, then even high tides cannot pull us apart. They cannot take us with them. We just see them, we might sway, and we might sway a lot, but, when the tide is over, we will still up back. And that's what is the result if we do our practice daily. Just do it daily. If you think it's worthwhile. If you don't think it's worthwhile, it's up to you. I always say, it's your life, you have to live it. And it's you, the one who takes responsibility for your life. I've taken responsibility for my life. And it's difficult, I know. It's difficult to take responsibility for one's own life. That means responsibility for one's own action. And responsibility for whatever happens right now. It's our responsibility. And that's, of course, children don't like to take on responsibility. They just want to play around. So let's grow up, and become adults and take responsibility for our life. And if we're responsible for our life, then we will not do things that inflict pain on us. We will not do things that are unwholesome for us. And if you take something with you, don't forget there is another realm. There is another world of experience. Once the mind gets quiet, there is another world of experience. It's a time where all the worries cease. It's the time where all the fear ceases. It's a time where all troubles cease. And this is within our reach. Even when we live the daily life of a layperson in the world, we can do that. We can go there. And if it's only for a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, it will show us that there is something more valuable in this whole life than we see. With our eyes, then we hear with our ears, then we taste with our tongue, and then we feel with our body, and then we can think. Just go beyond the realm of thinking, and then you will experience. You will experience something that is satisfactory, something that makes you happy. It might even make you happy so that your tears flow. Something that makes you peaceful. It depends on the character of the person, how it comes out. One way or another it will come out. It shows itself. Once we go beyond, let's go. It's only the first stage. Don't even think that you're finished. But it's something, it's something like when we have a book or when we have a certain music, in bad times we like to listen to this music, or we like to read this book because it makes us feel happy, or even we want to watch a movie, that makes us feel us happy. We have something we revert to. We don't have to take our stereo along with us, or we don't have to get all the books in our luggage, or we won't have to, get all the videos in our bags. We have it everywhere where we go. Be it at the airport, be it at the bus station, be it at the subway station or the train station or wherever we go, we have it with us. It's just there, right in our heart. And that's where we can experience it. It's not something, we cannot buy a key for it. We have to find the key, within our own heart. We have to find the key within our own practice. Let's remember this, don't forget it. When you look for happiness, once you investigate your actions a little bit, once you ask, what do I gain with this kind of action? Or what am I looking for with this kind of action? It's always a sort of satisfactory experience that we are looking for or expecting from. And then just ask yourself, and where does this satisfactory experience arise? Well, and if you are very honest and if you are very truthful, then you have to admit that it arises within your own heart. So when it arises within our heart, why don't we look in our own heart? First, if it's there, we can find it. Why do we have to do external things in order, to get it, or mostly not to get it? Because most of the time we don't get it. Because we have wrong expectations, or we have wrong means, or we have wrong this or wrong that. So it won't show up in this way. Sometimes it will show up. Because our expectations were right and our means were right. But if we want to look, where this feeling is arising, and the feeling is arising only at one place. All our feelings are arising at one place. So why not looking there? Why not looking at our heart where these feelings arise? I don't want to say with this that we don't have to do this action that we plan to do. But just be aware, get the satisfaction before you even do the action, and then it might be even more pleasurable. Just look at your heart, And I'm not talking, just from hearing or saying, I did it for myself. That's the way how I trained myself. Whenever I want to do something, I said, okay, how is your heart feeling? Oh, it's feeling not so satisfactory right now. It's feeling quite displeasant. So you want to do this? What do you expect from it? Yes, some pleasantness. Okay, then let's look first in the heart. So I did a meditation before I did. And now, so okay. Once I found the experience, then I said, okay, now you can do it. If I didn't find it, I looked, until I found it. It has to be there, If it arises there, it has to be there, and I can find it, There's no way that I cannot find it if it's there. Well, that takes a lot of determination, of course. The one who is searching for it will find, So if we really search, if we really intend of searching, we will find it. And we will find it right out in our hearts, Everything is there. It's there already, and it's in a complete state as well, It's in a state that we even can't imagine when we really experience it. But of course it's tedious, and that's why we don't do it. It's hardship. Sometimes we think it's even torture. So we don't do it, we go the easy way. And then we either get it or not get it, Depending on our chance, I don't even speak about chance. There's no chance. It's karma. All things are karma. All things are a result of our karma. So if our karma is good, if our karma has been good in the past, we will get it. If our actions have been good. People who play in the lottery, it's completely useless. Even play lottery, what do you want to win? If you haven't put anything in, how can you win? They all believe in chance and luck, There's no such things as chance and luck. Well, there is, but it's a minority. It's 0.01%, that's really chance. But most of it's not really chance. So the people who actually win in the lottery have been very generous at a previous life. That's why they get this much money. And if they wouldn't have played the lottery, then one of their aunts will die and give them the same amount of money. Or an uncle will die. Or they will just get, a fundry tax, a tax refund, yeah? Something like that happens, Or they will stumble about something. It has to happen. If we have done this kind of karma, it has to happen. But people can't wait, here in Thailand especially. They give the monks a little present, and then they ask in return they ask for the lottery money, for the lottery numbers to get their rewards. That's not the way it works. It takes a little bit. So don't worry, whatever we sow in the past, we will reap. Just let it come upon you. Just let it happen. Just let things happen the way they happen. And if you do it, if you realize it, that we even can't change, even if we want to change, we can't change the way things happen. And then we are at peace. We're not attached to the things happen in this way, nor are we attached to the way things happen in that way. We're completely free, like we are seeing the pictures. Going to the pictures or going to a movie. It's called pictures, because it's running, When the pictures learn to walk, that's what it's called in the beginning. They started to walk, the pictures. And now they're running our lives. Get it, Make it, make it to yourself clear, what you want. What do you want from your life? And if it all boils down to one thing, peacefulness, happiness. You just see it, Whatever goal you have, you don't do something, if it causes suffering, in the end. If you know it, If you don't know it, it might cause or might not cause. But look for your goals. What is it getting, What are you expecting from it? Just be a little bit honest. Honest with yourself. What do you want, What do I want, If I do this, what do I want? What do I expect from it? And there are always expectations, otherwise we wouldn't do it. Don't say there are no expectations. Don't say there aren't any intentions. There are. There might be superficial intentions, or there might be deep down intention. Our superficial intention can be very good, We just want to help this person, But our intentions down, deep at the bottom of the heart are very selfish. So then the result of this karma will be selfish and good. We will have both components. Because we actually did something for a person, really helped him, that is the good component. But the selfish aspect of us, look at me, how selfless I am. This will have the bad karma. So most of the times our actions are not only one part of karma. There are two ways of karma. With one thing, we can produce two ways of karma, or two results of karma. A good karma and a bad karma. So the more you come to your heart, the more you closer see your intentions, your real intentions. And as I said before, the language of the heart that all beings in the whole universe can communicate with is the intentions. That's the language of the heart, our intention. So if you can read the intentions, if you know of your own intentions, then you know of the intentions of others as well. So you know what they want. what they really want, not what they say they want. These are on different levels. These are on completely different levels. And we are on the surface level. The moment, we go a little bit inside the heart, the surface level, just the level underneath the surface will show up. And then it will show us. We might like it or we might not like it. And then we go deeper and deeper and deeper. Until we are really there where all the things emanate from. All the things originate from. And then we can root them out. And if you rooted everything out, then there was nothing left. And then it's called, that's a pure heart. If you rooted out greed and hate, and then if you rooted out illusion, and then you got rid of avijja, that's the end. Then there's nothing in the heart. It's a pure heart. But we have all these different views and opinions about what a pure heart is, or what a perfect being is, or what a holy being is. So we don't see them. Even if they stand right in front of us, we don't see them. When I first time, I came here to Bantat and saw Dhamma Mahaboa, it shocked me in a positive sense. I said, in my whole life, I have never seen a person, such a normal person in my whole life. He's so normal. He's not fake. He's such a normal person, He walks along the street, and you don't even notice him. He's so normal. There's nothing special. There's nothing special about him when we look, from the outside. The special is only in the interaction with him. But the people come from all over Thailand because he is well known. And so when he's here at the Wat, then he looks something, more. But when you saw, how he treated the princess and how he treats his normal people, there's no much difference. Every other monk would be flattered, if the princess or if the queen or the king come to see him. But he's not taken in. He treats them, as just as another person, as a human being. And that is what makes him so normal. He's not taken in if a person gives him 40 million baht, well, that's fine, great. But if that person in return asks for something impossible, he scolds him and gets him out. One thing cannot be recounted for another thing. So that is his freedom. He takes things as they are. He just treats people as they need to be treated. And that makes him normal. And just in contrary to all these other gurus, that exist in the world, and you can't even come close to them because they have such a big air around them. You can't even ask them personal questions. Or can't get close to them. Or can't reveal anything. You can come very close to Dhamma Mahaboa, but the problem is you will lose yourself when you come too close. You lose yourself, you suddenly don't even know what you should ask, you completely lose. It's just as if he sucks you in. It happened to me so often, when I come and went up to his kuti and want to see him. And I said, I really made up my mind before, what I want to do and what I want to say, And the moment, I saw his presence, everything was gone, and I was behaving most stupidly. And the next time the same thing, most stupidly, if it's everything, was lost, all my and it shows, it showed me at least, how stupid I am. So that is different. That's a different. People who are completely selfless and people who think they are selfless. People who don't even think that they are a great teacher, and people who think they are a great teacher. There's a difference as heaven and hell. Huge gap. Once Sangaraja, that is the king of the monks here in Thailand. There's something like that. It's like called a pope, or call it like that. But he has no authority. So he cannot say the monks to behave like this or like that, or teach this or teach that. He's just the authority to keep the monks, the order of monks in a proper sight. That means if he hears about monks that behave, not according to the Vinaya, then he will act, or the committee will act, and then remove the monk. But normally, so he's the king of the monks. So once Tanacha Mahabodhi, it was about 10 or 15 or 20 years ago, he know that he was known for his meditation or teaching, that he was famous for his meditation teaching. So he came up and visited him and said, maybe Tanacha Mahabodhi, maybe we should build an international meditation center here. And Tanacha Mahabodhi, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm a teacher, not just for a few of people. I'm not a teacher for all the masses. I can teach only a few, and the few that will come to see me anyway. So there's no need, to building something like that. It will just disturb the whole process of this monastery. So it wasn't built. It was shifted to another place. He doesn't see himself as a great teacher. It just says what is in line with the truth, if people want to hear it or not. He still says it. And some people like him, some people hate him. But that is normal. You cannot live you cannot live up to the expectation of all. Some think like this and some think like that. So just don't think, because the popularity of a well-known teacher in the world is known, that he's a good teacher. Must not be. Might be, mustn't be. Most of the well-known teachers, just say what the people want to hear. So, but what does this have to do with the truth? The truth is something that we call, it's unpleasant. To hear the truth is unpleasant. So, who comes, to hear the truth, because it's unpleasant. Who wants to hear the truth about himself, we might be able to take it from very, very, very good friends, we might, but we still react to this kind of truth. There's somebody, a friend, a very close friend comes up to say, that what you did, that was really disgusting, that wasn't really very good, Then we still get upset, but we'll take it in because he's a close friend. Now think about, he's not even your close friend, and he says, that he tells you the truth. Just think about how he pissed you off. And so people get pissed, by hearing the truth. And some people who really, truthfully, honestly seeking for the truth, they will be pulled by this. So there's always a pulling and, an affection towards the teacher, and then the hate towards it. It's just normal. Even the Lord Buddha, has accomplished, there's no being, in this whole area of human beings that we can think of that was as perfect as him. He was the perfected one. He was really perfect. Only a Buddha is a perfect being. He was completely perfect. But even the Lord Buddha had enemies. His own cousin wanted to kill him 3 times. He didn't succeed because he was a Buddha. You can't kill a Buddha. There's no way to kill a Buddha. But you can injure him. And Devadatta did it with his 3 successors on him. And now he's down in hell for the next 150,000 years for this deed. 150,000 years, well, when was the Buddha's time? 2,500. Now think about how longer he will be there. Just to kill, to injure a Buddha, to kill an arahant, or to kill one's mother or one's father, gets one down in the deepest state of hell for 150,000 years. And it's because of greed. That was envy of the cousin because he had so much power, or he was so famous. He wanted to get the fame for himself. So he's trying to get rid of him and then take up, But the fame doesn't go with this person. The fame is about that person. When you kill him off, and when you try to get the power of the person, and you kill that person, you don't get the power. The power stays with the person, So it's an illusion, And if I kill this off, I will get his power or will get his fame. You don't. But people believe in. That's why they do all these bad deeds. Even with money it's a little bit easier. But think about it, a very rich person, and somebody robs him. What does the robber do? The money runs like sand through his fingers, and within a month he doesn't have anything of it. You can't keep that. You just can't get that what other people have. You have to develop it yourself. That's the only way how to get it. You just can't take it from other people. But people don't believe it. So that's why they still do it. They fight for power. And you see the world is in a mess because of this. We all see it from day in, day out. Well, get out of the mess. Get yourself out of the mess first. And once you're out of the mess, then you can help. Help others to get out of the mess. But, just think, well, all of us, being in a swamp, nobody has fixed ground under its feet, and all the time we are drowning. And then one person who pops up to the surface and can breathe for the first time, sees another person, oh, I'll help you, and he pops him up, and while he pops him up, he drowns himself. That's not helping. Helping is, to show the people how they get fixed ground under their feet so they don't drown. Mm-hmm. So first of all, you have to do the work for yourself. You have to find, fixed ground under your feet, and walk the way out. Once you start walking the way out, then you can draw people with you. And people, just get so excited, once they take the first breath out of the swamp, and then they say, okay, now come on, I help you all. Help you with what? They just popped up on the surface. Right? And the next moment they will drown again. That's not really help. So a good teacher has to go the way first. And if you really want to help other people, then we have to go the way first ourselves. Right? Just don't. But we are so great in helping other people. We tell them how to behave. But if we should behave or would behave in the same way, we couldn't do it. It's too difficult. But to tell other people, it's so easy. Yeah, just do this, and then you just do this. Yeah? But we ourselves can't do it, But we don't realize this at this moment. If we would just follow our own constraints or follow our own advice, we would see how difficult it is. So, with this I stop it.